Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What's going on? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jay Moore here, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. And today, here's what we're talking about. It's major. It's major, and it could potentially change your life. Here's what it is. It's not what you believe. It's not what you believe that does anything. Today, we're going to look at pretty much how success happens. We're going to look at how businesses grow. We're going to look at how people change their life. And man, it's easier than you think. Man, I'm super excited about this topic today because, man, I've gone through 30 days. We're on the 31st day of August. And I remember at the beginning of the month, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And we're just going to look at some of the activities that I participated in, talk a little bit about what happened, some of those results, just to kind of help you to kind of understand what's happening over here. So let's jump right into the program. But before we do that, let's give a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor is the Healthy Accountant. And the Healthy Accountant has created a process, a system, an opportunity for early stage business owners, people who don't want to, make the same mistakes that most businesses make, and you don't want to give away a lot of the money that you actually have in your business, which a lot of times in the beginning is not as much. Go to taxfreewealthchallenge.com. You don't have to join the challenge. You just can get all the stuff that we added into that program that the challenge produced. And so that's going to help you to, one, understand taxes. It's going to help you to master the major 6 deductions that small business owners and early stage business owners need to master when it comes to their taxes and saving money. And then also what you get is how to understand the money in and money out, along with a couple other tools that can help you to take your business, your money to the next level. So thanks so much for joining. Let's jump into this. So it's the 31st day of August, and I'm looking back. But before I look back, yesterday I was, sitting in the parking lot waiting for my wife, and I heard something that I believe changed my life. Have you ever gotten a word in your life? Have you ever heard something and you said, finally, that's what it is. That's what it's been. Back in April when I did a short talk, and in that talk that I gave at my alma mater, what I said was that it's nothing like getting the right word in your spirit. Because a lot of times we hear words, we say words, and then the words that we use, they create something. They may create actions, they may create results, and typically that's what happens. And yesterday I got a word that came down, and it was just like, hey, it's not what you believe that does anything. It's ultimately what you do. Now we're going to talk about that statement because that's super important, like just to understand what that statement means. And where I failed, yesterday I talked about failure. I talked about the mistakes that I made, and you don't want to make these mistakes. You definitely don't want to make the mistakes I made. And so when I'm, studying entrepreneurs and I'm studying people who can help me, guys, you should have people you can study. You should have people that you can get around, and if you can't physically get in the room with these people, then you've got to go find out where they hang out. You got to go read their books until you get to a point where you're just like, hey, now it's time. So and there's interest because last night, my mentor, I'm on a coaching call. He's a coach and a mentor. He said something that went into my spirit that I believe released me to actually be more of who I've been, be more of who I am, not who I've been, be more of who I am. And I said, wow, 2 words in one day? Is that possible? But here's why I know it's possible. On the 1st of August, My wife has something on her calendar. She says, I don't know why is this on my calendar? And it says Jay is ready. Jay is, I was like, I don't know why you put that on. Man, I wish I would know why you put that on your calendar. We don't know why she put that on the calendar. She says Jay is ready. But here's the interesting thing about Jay. The I guess that being on her calendar, it took me 30 days to get to the point of really knowing. See, the mentor, and I'll call him a mentor because that word that I got, not last night, but early in the day, the word that I got in the parking lot, that mentor, what he said was that most people, here's what most people do. Most people fall in love with the goal. Guys, what are your goals? And have you fallen in love with the idea of the goals? And I had fallen in love with the idea of the goals where I've had success and I've grown, but not to the point of where I know I really would like to be. He said most people fall in love with the goals, but the successful people, write this down. The successful people fall in love with the activities. Are you catching that? The activities. Oh, shoot. It hurts to go running 3.5, 3 point something, sometimes 4 miles every day. It hurts. It hurts to say that, oh, I'm going to run 100 miles this month. And right now I'm at about, I'm going to finish the month. I think about 91 miles. I've never run that many miles. Oh, it hurts to go to the gym every single day. Oh, it hurts, to wake up early in the morning. Oh, it hurts to make the cold calls. Oh, it hurts to learn new skills that's going to help me go to a new level. Oh, it hurts to pretty much do anything that you're unfamiliar with and that you haven't been doing. See, most of us that have set goals, and I'm going to say most of us because many of us are not where we'd like to be. And if we haven't reached that first level, then that just means that more than likely we've fallen in love with the goal to the point where we're not actually doing the activities. There's not a person on the planet that if they were doing the right activities won't get the results. What are the results? So think about it. What are the results that you look for? So if you're a business owner, more than likely you would say, man, if I can get to 7 figures. Most business owners never get to 7 figures. And you think about what if Amazon only did 7 figures, $1 million? You say, oh my goodness, that's a small business. Let's think about it. It's a small business. Amazon does, I don't know, is it hundreds of billions? Apple does hundreds of billions. Like, come on, like for real. They do a lot. What if they only did 1 million? That's a small business. Thinking about where they are. But they started with 0. They started in garages. They started in living rooms. They started in dining rooms. They started just like your business and my business inside of somebody's home. Everything was home-based until it wasn't. See, one of the things that I discovered being in the tax industry is that, and I got this from a guy named Sandy Botkin. Sandy Botkin wrote, he wrote a book on taxes. I'm trying to remember, but I know he had a famous quote. And the famous quote is, you would be brain dead if you did not have a home-based business. This is what Sandy Botkin says. He's an attorney. He's an ex-IRS attorney. And he says a person is an idiot. I'm just an utter fool that they don't have a home-based business, even while you have a job, because you can participate in what the wealthy are doing. So that means that you don't want to set your sights on, I will only be a home-based business. You want to set your sights on first becoming a home-based business, and then you must do the actions. So here's the thing, and that's the word of the day. You must do the actions that you say you believe. So if I say I would have a home-based business, then now it's producing the actions. I should probably go set up an LLC. I should probably go figure out, what am I going to sell? That's the first thing. You got to know what you're going to sell. What am I going to sell? What am I going to offer to the world? Because if you don't actually have anything to offer to the world, then you go, and when you get audited by the IRS like, what kind of business do you have? I'm just trying to save money on taxes. That's not a business. You get no deductions for that. So you've got to actually have an offer that sells something, whether or not you sold anything. It's okay, right? You just have to have an offer so that when they come and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Hey, my goal is to sell these things. I just haven't made any sales yet." Well, you haven't? Well, what have you been doing? So it's the actions. Well, I've been making phone calls. I've got appointments. I've been having dinners with people. I've been having lunches with people. No, I haven't. No one's bought anything yet. One of my coaches, he said that he didn't make his first sale to almost 2 years into his first business. Does that mean he wasn't in business? No, it just meant that he didn't make his first sale. Did he have expenses? I guarantee you he had expenses. So part of getting results is actually doing something. You have to do something to get the results. So if my goal was not weight loss. See, many people, they want to get into the health arena and they want to make the wrong goal. You make the wrong goal. You say, "I want to lose 20 pounds." But what happens is you want to lose 20 pounds, but then when you got to actually do those actions, you don't want to do it. I don't do that. So I said, I wasn't going in, let me lose some weight, even though I knew it would actually force some pounds off. If you run almost 100 miles, I don't get unless it's going to force some pounds off. And so, but that's not what I was looking for. I said, I would like to run 100 miles. That's the result I would like. I would like to be able to actually get to the point where I did that. Man, you didn't do it this month. I got to do it next month. I didn't get to 100. And because I didn't get to 100, that just means I have to do it. It's funny, right? Today is the 31st, and I was trying to figure out, man, am I going to do this? Am I going to keep doing this every day? Well, I haven't actually reached the goal. So if I haven't reached the goal, I got to reach the goal. And then I probably need to do it more times so that I can say, well, look at all the times I hit that goal. Dang. Yeah, dang. But that's the result I like. That's the result I was looking for. Not weight loss, even though when I look at the scale, I probably lost about 5 or 6 pounds. 5 or 6 pounds. But here's the thing: it was needed to actually help reveal some more of the muscles. So here's the thing: if you have a goal, then guys, the goal, you have to make the goal so that you can actually do it. See, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds in a month, you don't know that you can do that. You can't control the weight coming off, but I guarantee you, if you do it numbers based, hey, this is like I'm going to run a certain amount of miles. You can actually do that. Like that's doable. You don't, but because you can't control the weight. So a lot of times, if it's money, you cannot control the clients. You can't control the money when it comes in. But what you can control is, what I would like to do is have my next month. This is one of my next month goals. I'm just going to kind of say this one, but I'm not going to say much. Is to have my calendar full, 20 appointments for the month, 20 appointments next month. That doesn't look, at the end of the day, I don't know who's going to purchase. I don't know who's going to buy, but you know what? It took coming up short on a goal, on a real goal, that I can now look at all goals and just say, hey, if I just make them into the actions that I have to do, then the other results that come with that are guaranteed. They're automatic. Let me ask you a question. Like today is the last day of the month. We've got September, October, November, December. We got 4 months. Now we have 1 day left. Today is our day, October 31st, 2022. So you've got today. Today, position yourself for the rest of the year. I know I am. Position yourself for the rest of the year and then ask yourself the question, what actions can I perform that have to get me to my goal? So make the goal something that you can actually perform. And when you perform that action, it has to get you to your goal. Now, but that includes other parts of the goal that you don't actually have to pay attention to, because those are built into the results. So the better we can plan out our actions, the better we can actually realize that we're actually believing the things In the word, it says this. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So the belief that you and I have is based on the things that we can't see. And it's also based on the fact that now you got to do something, because in James said, look, faith without works is absolutely a falsity. It's dead. Don't even talk to me about your faith. Don't even talk to me about your belief, because you're not believing it. You're not doing anything. You don't have any activities. So, what's the takeaway for today? The takeaway is this. It's not what you believe that does anything. It's what you do. Plan your activities for the rest of this year. Make your activities the things that will actually help you to reach the real goal, the actual goal. Now, but it actually helps you get to the real goal. So in business, it would be money. It could be clients. It could be expansion. It could be, something that, man, I really would like to get to that 7-figure mark. Then don't focus on the 7 figures. You focus on the activities that get you to the 7 figures by default. A loaded up calendar gets me to 7 figures by default. Just load it up. Or it's, well, as long as I get X amount of leads, then that means that I have to actually do something that gets X amount of leads. And by getting X amount of leads every day, every week, every month, that's going to get me to having X amount of leads. That will be the goal. 300 leads for the month, 1,000 leads for the month, 2,000 leads for the month, whatever that is. So the goal is the activities. And then the activities produce more of the goal. You got that? So our belief doesn't get us anything. It's what we do that gets us everything. So guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Account for Life podcast. This is Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, helping you to account for life. God bless, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.